Pain in Our Head podcast contains themes of coarse language, adult themes, and the discussion of mental health themes. Some content may be emotionally challenging. If you or someone you know is at risk, please visit the description for mental health and suicide prevention contacts. Enjoy the show. What's going on, everyone? Caleb here.
Howdy, I'm Christian.
And I want to talk about something about Lego, because we were just talking about Lego before we started this episode. And apparently, Christian has told me South Australians say Lego.
Yeah, so that's the thing. They
Really?
say Lego. It's
Lego.
fucking weird. Like, hey, why? Like, what? How? How do you get Lego out of Lego? Lego. Lego. Lego.
Lego. Well, however you say Lego, we hope you're having an awesome day. How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been pretty good, mate. No, it's been good. Sort of. It's been up and down. Had a bit going on. Had a toothache. Had a tooth pulled. Shit. But other than that, plodding along, getting things done. Been in a pretty good mental state. Had a rough day at work one of the days. Got absolutely chewed out. And was a bit of a snipey little bitch, I guess, after that. I was very kind of jab at people because, fuck you. I'm in a mood, so you're in a mood now. What about you? You went to Taylor Swift with your girlfriend.
I did.
Swifty bitch.
Oh, I have. I've just come back from Melbourne. And I didn't go to the concert. But yes, my partner and my sister did.
So you say.
So I say. Oh, look, I wouldn't have been able to get a ticket. I was very lucky to get them both a ticket each. So yeah, spent a few days down in Melbourne. Really busy. Fantastic weather down there at the moment. Awesome. So much better than muggy Queensland. It's like the first day we came back, just hot, stinking, muggy, sweating. It's gross. But Melbourne was awesome. Beautiful blue sky, like mid-20s, no humidity, no wind, sunshine, beautiful weather. So really, really lucky. Busy though. So busy. Like the traffic down there is insane. I'm not just talking over the weekend with the Taylor Swift concert. I'm talking, we were there till like Wednesday. A few days after Taylor Swift had already been and gone. And just the traffic down there is insane in the city. Just so busy. I have a little bit more of an appreciation for Brisbane traffic. It's actually not that bad. So if you're sitting...
a fucking animal.
What do you mean?
I hate Brisbane traffic. I get anxiety going to Brisbane. It stresses me out. Like everyone walking around, no one walks around in Brisbane. Everyone's like on a mission and is like they're the center of the universe. Their heads are so far. Not everyone is like that. I'm not ripping on Brisbane people, but it triggers me really hard because I'm just like, oh man, everyone thinks they're so fucking important, and I'm just some backwards guy from Bundy, and it's like I feel so out of place. It just stresses me out. Yeah. And then you go to South Australia, and Adelaide is just so goddamn chill. Like the traffic's easy as hell to navigate. The people aren't like, except for those bloody Bible bashers in Rundle Mall. Every goddamn time I go to Rundle Mall, there's people with there's people with like pickets and Bibles, and they're like preaching their absolute tits off. And I go through Rundle and I'm wearing black. I got a black shirt. I got my armband on. I've got headphones on. I've got black pants with chains hanging off them, big boots. I got piercings, tattoos. I'm not the person you approach to talk about religion to, but they do. Every goddamn time I go to Rundle, I've got my headphones on, I'm listening to death metal. I'm like, yeah, I've got to get through this fucking place. Like, I'm going to go. I'm just walking along. I'm just dead ahead. I'm like, yep. Got to get to my place.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you need to repent. And I'm just like, fuck off. Every time. Every time they cop it.
What sins have you got to repent, Christian?
Dude, it's better to start a list of what sins I don't have to repent. Like, they had a picket sign, and it was like, oh, if you've done these things, you're going to hell. And this guy's like, oh, have you done any of these things? I was like, mate, there's only one thing on that picket sign that I can't tick off, and that's murder. Like, everything else, I've been there. I've done that. What of it? He's like, oh, if you don't let Jesus into your life, you can't accept his light, and you'll go to hell. And I'm like, yeah, sick, man. Like, I got a VIP spot. I'll be driving the goddamn bus.
Reserved. Yep, reserved space for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I don't do a lot of driving around Brisbane City, so maybe I can't, compare the two. But anyway, really busy, really good, fantastic. I want to take a sec to talk about Taylor Swift as well. And I know that's not sort of the music that we're into. I just want to rehash, I guess, or talk about how incredible she is as an artist and a performer. Because whether you like her or not, whether you like her music or not, she had, and this is just in Melbourne, like 300,000 people come and see her over the course of 3 days. That's incredible. Like, whether you like that sort of music, whether you like her music and that sort of thing, but from a musician's point of view, like, that's incredible. I'm in complete envy and jealousness about it. But that's the thing. Again, we talked about not comparing yourself to others, a few episodes ago. But it's just amazing. I think what she's done over 20 years is just incredible. She's captured the hearts of not one, not two, but I'd say 3 generations worth of people. And I think that's what makes her so successful in a way. But anyway, just interesting, food for thought. I know you really don't want to probably talk too much about this, but I just think what she's done is incredible. And, you don't get to tour around the world and sell out that many tickets if you haven't done something right.
Don't you fucking lie to me. We've had this discussion so many times. There's so many artists out there that are absolute trash. And just because of good production skills and auto-tune and amazing songwriters out there that do all the fucking work for them, they sell out concerts and pack out shows. It's like all you are is a pretty face with money. Like, we've had this discussion. And also, I don't hate Taylor Swift. Like, I have been caught singing along to Shake It Off and Knew You Were Trouble and, stuff like that. Taylor Swift songs are really, really good cover songs. The amount of bands that have gone and covered her stuff and turned it into metal or hard rock, that shit's catchy as fuck.
Yeah, they're great. They're really, really well-written songs. Yeah, I do like them. I probably know a lot more than what I would admit listening to it growing up. But
are you trying to say that you regret knowing so many Taylor Swift songs?
I think I do. I think I do regret knowing so many Taylor Swift songs. Beautiful segue. That's what we're going to chat about today, isn't it? Regret.
I believe so.
That's what we wrote down.
Yeah, I regret the lack of preparation for today's episode. Like, we've got nothing. Normally, we've got Discord notes, and it's like, okay, we want to talk about this, and this. We don't script it, but at least we got rough notes to go back on. And today we've got nothing. Yep. We don't have a title. It's just gone.
No, we haven't even come up with a title yet. No, we're still coming up with a title as we speak. But look, I was away, so we didn't get time to get all this together. Sometimes that happens. Life happens. I regret the fact that I didn't plan more effectively.
Yeah. Yeah, look, but there's a song by Amon Amarth, and it's Live Without Regrets. And it's a great song. It's like, live your life without regrets. It's, they sing about Vikings and Norse mythology and stuff. So, the whole, I guess the whole point of Vikings is just fucking do it. Like, don't not do it and regret it. Just fucking send it, eh?
That's right. There's that. Well, we found a great quote, didn't we? Let's start off with that.
A quote.
Quote. Could I say quote? Quote.
You said quote.
Quote. I can't talk today. I drank way too much milk earlier.
Why?
And I don't know. I had cereal. I'm a big chocolate milk fan. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I think if I had if I was on my deathbed and there was one last thing that I could have in this world, I would just ask for chocolate milk. That would
Want
be
some
it.
chocolate milk from Dee's titties.
I will pass. I do like chocolate milk, though. But anyway, this quote. You found this one.
I'm
You found this
offended.
quote.
Fucking
Good.
hurt.
I hope you are. Offended. Anyway,
I regret offering it to you.
Moving away from Christian's tits, a quote that he found, that you found, fantastic. A quote by Mark Twain, an American writer. Correct me if I'm wrong. Quote is, "We regret the things we don't do more than the things we do."
Mm-hmm.
I loved it straight away as soon as you told me that quote. I think it's fantastic. It's such a great way to start talking about regret, why we feel regret, how we feel regret, what happens to our mental health when we regret too much. Regret things that we haven't done, but then also regret things that we may have done that we weren't so happy or proud about.
I don't regret shit.
Well, that's good. That's good to not regret things. I regret a lot, unfortunately. I do. I regret lots of different things, good and bad. I guess there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things like I regret that I didn't do. A lot of things I regret that I have done. So it's interesting. It's interesting how it can affect your mental health. You know, some of the things that regret can cause things like depression, lower life satisfaction, as well as, we talked about a few episodes ago, low self-esteem. That's a cause, of regret, is lower. It lowers your self-esteem. It lowers your confidence. It can lack your motivation. You feel hopeless. But the upside of regret is it's a painful emotion that can lead to better mental health if you can get past it in the right way. So if you can, I guess we also talked about this in a previous episode, forgiving yourself for things that you may have done. Forgiving yourself for those things and then moving past it is definitely the best step in the right direction in terms of forgetting about regret. Well, not so much forgetting, because I doubt you'd ever really forget. Like, I've never forgotten. I'll never forget any of the things that I regret.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more maybe just being able to live with the regret.
Yeah, I joke when I say that I don't regret anything, because I guess part of my BPD is I regret everything. So, your thoughts run wild, and it's always when you want to go to bed or have a bit of downtime, you like sit down and it's just all the thoughts start going through your head, and it's like, oh, remember the time when you were like 4 years old and you did this? You're like, why? I just want to go to bed. So, yeah, I have got plenty of things I regret, and it's just one of those things, I guess. Like you said, you have to learn to deal with it. And if you can't deal with it, then it starts to negatively affect your mental health. It can affect your decision making in future choices, because you'll get to a new situation and you may not weigh up all the options critically, and because of your past regret, it'll influence your decision in the upcoming situation, and you may choose the wrong thing. So definitely being able to reflect on regrets and learn why you do have that regret and why it makes you feel that way, then I think that will help you move forward and kind of eliminate, probably not eliminate the regret, but at least make it more manageable.
Oh, absolutely. And there's regrets can be small, like, you can have big regrets, small regrets, and some things in regards to regret, yeah, you're right, they can impact things later on, in life. There's also some things where you may do something and then you won't actually feel the regret until years later. I got a great example for you. I used to play football. When I say football, I say I mean AFL. I mean Aussie rules. That's just because I'm Victorian, or born in Victoria. So I'm Queensland. I'm a Queenslander, but I love my AFL. I don't
How
hate
the
me.
fuck did you
Don't hate
play
me for this.
football, you short ass?
I was a lot tougher and stronger back then, but I did. I played football from the age of 6 years old. I played with the under eights when I was 6 years old, and I played actually a few years up for many years. So I was quite good when I was young. I was quite good. And anyway, I love my football. I love my AFL, and I played probably from the time that I was 6 years old right up until I was 16. So 10 years I played football. This is every season. This was everything I did. Like we trained. It used to be once a week when you were younger. Then it turns into 2 times a week, and then you play the game on the weekend. It's a big commitment. So I mean, this can go for any sports like that. But when I got to high school, and this was like grade 11 and 12. Well, I stopped growing when I was 10. Let's be honest. And I guess I got to high school and I thought I'm not going to be able to focus on my academic stuff through school. I'm not going to be able to focus on getting good grades and things like that if I'm putting so much time to football. So I made the decision of stop playing football and just focus on school. And at the time, that seemed like the right decision to make. It made sense. I was going to go out into the world in a few years' time. I was going to start working, all that sort of thing. And I really needed to get the good grades so that I could get to where I wanted to be for whatever I wanted to do when I was older. That thing there is the fact that you have to do so well in school, in your grade 11 and grade 12, so that you can do something later on in life. That is utter bullshit. It is so bullshit. I get angry at it too because I'm so upset that that's what I was fed. That's what we were told. That's what we were told through school. School was the be all or end all. And if you didn't do well in school, you weren't going to do well in life. And that is the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard. So I look back on that now and I regret that. I regret stopping, football because I'll never know. I'll never know if I was ever going to be good enough to play football if I kept playing. I did. When I was younger, I wanted to be a professional football player. But I never gave myself that opportunity to try it because I stopped playing when I was 16. That means that I couldn't go on, play 17, 18, and then, look at getting drafted or whatever it is. That's a big regret. And I struggled with that. I struggled with that for so many years because I went and did school, I finished school, I got really good grades, finished that all off, and then I got out into the real world and it was a big slap in the face because it's not a cakewalk. You don't just walk into an awesome job just because you got great grades and you did whatever you did through high school. It doesn't work like that. So a few years later, like in my early 20s, I was living with heaps of regret, and it caused heaps of low self-esteem, depression, because I just have this always thinking about never knowing what might have been. So yeah, there you go. There's a story for you.
What team do you go for in the AFL?
I'm hesitant because I feel like we're going to lose all of our subscribers. I go for the Bombers, Essendon Bombers.
Yeah, or Maxi Gorn.
That's Melbourne.
Damn it, it is too. I go
Yes.
for Richmond because Dusty.
There's Dusty. Dusty's great. Yes. We in a cafe down in Melbourne earlier in the week. We were at a cafe and a lot of the menu had like it was like the Dusty recovery. It was nice. like a meal and yeah, great stuff in Melbourne. I do love going to Melbourne just for that sort of stuff. For the football, we checked out the Napier Hotel, which is the old Fitzroy kind of pub, and it has all the memorabilia for Fitzroy. Yeah, really cool, awesome stuff. But anyway,
nerd.
Yes, I am a bit of a football nerd. The football season's right around the corner. You're going to be seeing a lot less of me while the football season starts because I do watch not every game, but most games. So no more games.
So stupid.
What about what's some regrets that you've got, Christian? You know,
Here we
start
go.
the list. Find something good.
Watching that song you sent me the other day. Sent me some Glorb kill cam song, and it's like SpongeBob and Squidward, and it's just fucking horrible. It seriously made me like reconsider actually valuing his taste in music. Just, and it got stuck in my head too. That was the part I hated the most. Because I could just hear those stupid tentacle squelch noises. And it's just, I was like, why? What? Although in saying that, I do quite often hum or sing that hardstyle fish.
Yes,
So,
yes. That gets stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or, no cock like horse cock. So, whatever. I
Go have a
guess
look.
it's fair.
Yeah, go have a look at these on YouTube too. After you finish watching this, of
Or
course.
not.
Or don't. Yeah.
But especially the last one. Don't look that up. That's just going to make you think less of me. Because I sing it all the time. It's catchy. It makes me laugh.
It's funny. It's funny.
It is.
It's got some comedic value to it.
But as to actual legitimate regrets, it's. I feel like I have a lot of regrets, but I feel like I've kind of come to terms with a lot of them as I've gotten older, and it's easier to actually kind of live without regret because you just get to a point where you go, fuck it. What's the point in, you made your choice, now live with it.
Mm.
Because you can't go back and change it.
No.
So what's the point in stressing over it? And like I said before, though, you do have those moments where you're laying in bed trying to fall asleep and your brain reminds you of everything you've ever regretted.
Yep.
And you just like, whatever. Fuck you. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
Like off the top of my head, I don't think there's anything in particular that I strongly regret. The only thing I guess that pops into mind would be moving too fast in a relationship and moving in with someone before I completely understood who they were and what they were about, and deeply regretted that situation. Learned some very, very hard life lessons in that one. So that one I probably regret, but I think maybe I regret not applying myself in school. Like you were saying that you taught to really put all the effort into school, otherwise you're not going to get a good job. You're not going to succeed in life. And I agree with you. It's a load of bullshit. Do what you want to do, learn, live, all that sort of stuff, and figure it out when you get out. Some people are driven enough to be able to apply themselves, and they have their plan in place, and they go to university straight after they graduate high school. I graduated high school, and then I was like, don't know what the fuck I want to do. I had applied for the army. They said I wasn't old enough because I hadn't turned 18 yet. So I asked the high school if I could repeat year 12. So I went back and started repeating year 12 after I graduated. And I think I lasted about 3 months. And one of the guys that I'd graduated with was like, hey, we're looking for workers. Do you want to come work with us? Yeah, okay, fuck it. Why not? So I dropped out of year 12 for the second time and was like, so I've graduated. And then, I was like, didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I guess I regret not really sticking it out. Like I feel like if I had have actually applied myself in that second go around, I could have gotten a better OP score or whatever it's called these days.
Yeah.
And actually done something with my life, because I may not seem it, but I'm pretty intelligent. But it's just, I just didn't care. I still don't really care.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and when I say that, like, it's all bullshit. There is some truth to it in like kind of what you said. it's about like applying yourself. Those sort of practices are really good for later in life. So if you're going to do something, like, do it to the best of your ability, right? But I think school's hard because sometimes, you're forced to go through it, to a degree. But, on the positive side or the plus side is, just take everything with a grain of salt and just give it your best shot. Because what do you got to lose? And I think that's a lot of that whole regret thing, right? You can, I guess it's hard to avoid regret, or making mistakes. Mistakes are inevitable. We're all going to make mistakes. I've made a stupid amount of mistakes, but you learn. No, you're perfect, mate. You are the poster boy of the world.
I can get on board with that.
But yeah, so like making mistakes, it happens, but they make you learn from them. You become more intelligent, I think, after making mistakes because you can learn from those mistakes, and then you don't make those mistakes in the future, or you can do something a little bit differently. But just giving it your all, really, I think in those situations is the key. And that way, if you know that you've given it your all, you've given it absolutely everything, you're not going to feel that regret later on.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. It's definitely an application kind of thing. If you've given everything you've got and you still don't succeed, then it was out of your control and you didn't have a fucking choice in it. So you've got nothing to regret.
Yes, exactly. That's it. And there's a lot of things like that I've done as well, where you sort of just, if you give it everything, then you don't leave anything in the tank. You don't leave anything unsaid. And I think that's helped with a lot of situations where maybe years later I might have felt regret about that particular thing or that mistake, but I was able to move past that mistake because I did give it everything at the time. So it allowed me to come to terms with it a lot more. Whereas, when I think back to, my example, I didn't give that everything. Like, why couldn't I have done both? Why couldn't I have done that? Because if I had done that, that's giving everything. That is absolutely trying everything, all solutions, and figuring it out. And then maybe it might not have worked anyway, And I do look back now, and there's no way I was going to be a professional, football player. That's not me, right? I'm so much more into my music, and that's my passion, and that sort of thing. You also need time to be able to find your passion. So, yeah. Well, did you battery critical? Yeah, was it your headset? Headset's running out.
Apparently.
Christian's headset runs out at least 3 times during the night while we're playing games. And, yeah. Now you got a cord like me. Twins.
No, I'm the better looking. I hope that doesn't come through like glaringly.
No. It only came through like just the tinsiest bit.
That's all right.
So we're rambling on now, but put it in the comments. Check if you're watching on YouTube, great. Put some comments in if you like, if you want to, or don't. Just regrets, things that you regret. I'd love to hear them. Love to talk about them. So yeah, comment about it or whatever you want.
Tell us you regret watching this episode.
Yeah, or do. Maybe you do. I'm probably going to regret watching this episode over. But anyway, it is what it is. Give it our all. Move past it. Make a mistake.
Yeah, I could be playing Helldivers right now, so I guess I regret doing this episode. No, I'm joking. I don't regret it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's good. I know we didn't have really a lot to talk about in terms of regret. It's more or less just the fact that it can eat you up inside if you let it. And I think the idea, or what we're trying to get towards, is just understanding that it's okay to have regret. It's okay to make a mistake. Just think about the ways that you can move past it. And as Christian said, as you said before, it's done. Can't go back. That's the beauty of hindsight. We don't have it. And you can't go back and change it. But what you can control is your next steps and how you feel about it.
Mm.
That's all in your control, and it's hard. It's hard. It's easy to sit here and say, don't think about it, move forward, move past it, and that way you don't be depressed or you don't feel upset about it, and your mental health doesn't take a toll. But it's easy to sit here and say that, but it's hard. It really is. Especially when it starts to affect things like your sleep. As you said, you go to sleep at night sometimes, or want to try and go to sleep, and you're thinking about all of those things. You can't sleep. If you're at work and you're thinking about those things, you're not working, to 100%. So it can start impacting your life and your day-to-day activities. And I think it's a really important concept to not let it take over your life, because it's already done so much in the past. It's already upset you in the past. It's already happened back then. It's already hurt you. So don't let it keep hurting you, I think is the moral of the story. Anyway, that's
no. I think you're right there. Kind of nailed it on the head. It's definitely about just how you manage that regret. It's if you curl up in a ball and just hate yourself and think about it too much, then you're not progressing forward, and that's what life's all about. It's taking every step forward that you can and continually striving to move forward. You might take a step back every now and then, you might stumble, but as long as you keep pushing forward, then you live and
learn.
or you just live.
yeah, you've gone years without learning anything. That was rough.
Learning to dislike you.
We haven't spent enough time together this week because I've been away, so I don't think I've gotten all my haven't got all my banter out this week. So now I feel like I've saved it all up and I'm ready to just dump it all on top of you in the one day. That sounded weird.
Sure, that's the only thing you want to dump.
Oh my goodness! Well, I'm finished talking about regret. So unless you have anything else to say,
I'm good for it.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Good chat. Let's hear a word from our sponsors and we'll be back in a moment. The Pain in Our Head podcast is proudly sponsored by Music Magic Co. and Brisbane rock band The Flying Circus. Visit the links in the podcast description for more information. Back to the show. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Pain in Our Head podcast. Thanks for sticking around. We just finished up our conversation about regret, which was fantastic. Really good to just talk about our personal things that we've had that we regret, and just talk about some things that regret can do to your mental health, things like that. So, Christian made me laugh before we started this again. We take a small 5-minute break when we hit the sponsors, just to grab a drink and that sort of thing. Anyway, he made me laugh. I'm good. I'm past it now. It was very funny.
Do you want to talk about? I feel like it may be relevant. Like, is that a regret that you have? Do you regret doing anything while you may have been intoxicated?
You're gonna throw me under the bus. Well, Christian brought up the fact that while I was in Melbourne, I did get quite drunk on one night, and I sent him a drunk text.
That sounds so bad.
And it does sound really bad. No, I didn't remember. He brought it up. He mentioned to me before, and I completely didn't remember that I'd even sent it. So I must have been really drunk. I must have had a really good time. But yeah. Anyway, moving on.
I can't even read it out because it's just you've said some really naughty words in it.
I use a lot of naughty words.
It's very cute though. Like it's not a bad. It's not dirty. He's just very passionate about what he's saying and how much he cares about me and values me as a friend. So it was very heartwarming to receive it, even though he was drunk when he said it.
Well, usually what they say, your truths come out when you're drunk. I don't know.
Fuck, I hope not. No, I don't drink. I don't get. I drink every now and then, but I don't get drunk anymore. Although, so back when I was in Queensland and I was vocalist for Iron Wizard, a band that I really, really, really liked King Parrot were doing a tour, and we got to open for them. And that was amazing. I absolutely sung my tits off and really put a really good effort into that show and wore myself out incredibly, got pretty drunk. And then, the other bands played, King Parrot went on, and me being super excited, just decided I'm going to get drunk as a skunk. And I did. I got written off in a big way because I don't drink very often. And I was on rum and Coke. So Coca-Cola. So rum and cola. So got absolutely ruined. And then being an old fart like I am these days, I was in the mosh pit and just going ballistic. So I completely burnt myself out. I was like, I don't feel good. So I went out the front of the venue and proceeded to just blow chunks. I was sitting in the gutter, just blowing chunks. I had my legs spread. I was just like, bah! And then someone walked past and like, you okay? And I was like, nah. I was like, get Gumby. I'm not good. And I just, boom, on my back. I had like all my shirt completely undone, and I'm just like laying on the fucking sidewalk, just a pile of like vomit between my legs in the gutter. And Gumby, who I've mentioned before, is a brother to me. He came out, and so they call me Spoon. That's my name back in Queensland. And he just looks at me and he goes, "You all right, Spoon?" No. He pulls his phone out, ka-ching, takes a photo. That photo has been photoshopped into so many different pictures now. It's amazing. I don't regret it. I regret missing like half of the set because I was passed out outside. But just the joy that's come from that photo, that one photo. I think I've sent it to you before. There's like I've been edited into like there's like a bunch of horses running down the beach, and I'm like sitting on one of them. I'm just like, and there's like a ballet class, and there's me. It's great. I love it. So yeah, we've all done things when we're drunk that we quite possibly regret.
Yes. Well, I don't regret sending you the message. I regret not remembering it. That's what I regret.
I screenshotted it and sent it back to you just then, so you
did you?
You can
good.
reflect on it.
Good. Yeah. I can't wait to think about that when I go to sleep tonight. Moving on, we're going to chat about some music as we always do. So I've got a fantastic song that I was going to bring up last week's episode, but I didn't. I changed my mind on what I was going to bring up. So this week I want to talk about a song called Believe by Bliss and Esso. Fantastic song. Awesome song. That's from the Off the Grid album. I love that album. Absolutely loved it. I love all the songs on that album. Just binged listening to that for months when that came out. But I think Believe is probably one of my favorite tracks on that album. And yeah, it hits me hard because of the way regret is spoken about in this song. And it sucks because I listen to it and I tear up over it too, because it makes me think about, past mistakes. It makes me think about regret. But it's also a great song in kind of explaining why you shouldn't, dwell on those mistakes and that regret. So there's some awesome the lyrics in this song I love. There's some awesome lyrics in this song. So one part that I really, really like is it's just the first line. It's everything I said I wouldn't do, I did. Life just happens and it is what it is, which I know you hate. I know you hate that saying, it is what it is. But yeah, everything I said I wouldn't do, I did. And I've been there. When I was younger, I was very straight. I was very straight shooter, right? So I wanted to be a police officer when I was like my late years of high school, And that's what I wanted to do coming out of school. Don't know if I've ever told you that.
No,
And
I wanted to be a police officer.
Yeah, really?
Mm.
Well, I went for my exam. So on the day that I turned 18, I'm talking the day, and I remember my 18th birthday. I will always remember my 18th birthday. Probably one of the worst days of my life I've ever had.
Oh my God, me too.
So I will remember it. I will always remember it. Terrible. An awful day. Just an awful, awful day. Anyway, I'll talk about my 18th birthday some other time. But yeah, I went and took my first police exams on that day, on my 18th birthday. And I was so sure that like I was going to get put in. Like I was a straight shooter. I hadn't done anything bad in regards like to, the law. I hadn't touched drugs. I hadn't done, I had no misdemeanors or anything like that. I was such a straight shooter, and I was like, this is, I've got nothing marked against my name. I'm the perfect candidate, right? And I got knocked back for like 6 months. They like knock you back, and they say, "Oh, come back to us in 6 months' time." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough. Like, fine, I'll come back in 6 months' time. I'll do the exam." So I did. I went back in 6 months' time, took the exam, and then they were like, "Come back in 6 months' time again." I was like, "Okay, this is weird." And they sort of said, "Oh, but just get some more life experience. You're just fresh out of school, kind of thing." I'm like, fair enough. Okay. So I remember it was later on in the year, towards the end of the year, Christmas, and I went and took the exam for the third time, and this was a couple of weeks out before Christmas. And I remember, like, the day before Christmas, I get a response, I get an email back, and it was pretty much like, "Come back in a year." And I was just gutted. I was like, it's now going to be like 2 years that I had thought to myself that I was already going to be, in that industry, and that's what I was going to be doing. It just broke me. It just absolutely broke me. Anyway, the point is, I've completely got off track, completely forgot about what I was talking about. But I guess everything I said I wouldn't do, I did. And once that had happened, I lost all, like, I didn't stay straight anymore. I was like, well, what's the point? Like, I've missed out. I missed out through, high school. I missed out on doing things, doing dumb shit, that you're supposed to do when you're a young kid, with my friends and things like that, because I was always that person who was like, I shouldn't do that because that's not the right thing to do when I wanted to be a straight shooter. And I feel like I just missed out on so much. So once this had happened, I just went out and I stopped caring and went and did all this sort of stuff. Anyway, flash forward to, years later, everything I said I wouldn't do, I did. And that kills me. It's like line one. It's like I had always said I would never go and do those things. I would never go and do drugs. I would never go and be a shithead and do all this sort of crap. But I did. And yeah, so anyway, and that's one part of it. The other lyrics that kill me as well, it's in that first verse, is because in a blink of a lid, you'll be twice your age, and then till now is like night and day. And it just, kills me. Absolutely kills me, that line. And I think about back then when I was younger, when I was 18, and this is like 10 years ago now. And I think that went so quickly. Like, think back to when I was even younger, before I was a teenager, and you think, things are so sweet, things are so awesome, and like 20 years later, and all of a sudden, bang, Anyway, fantastic song. It's amazing. Mario sings the chorus in that song, and I love the chorus. It's a beautiful song, great production behind it, and yeah, that's the song I turn to when I'm feeling regret. So I go and listen to it a fair bit. Yeah.
Hey, I struggled to think of a song to do with regret this week. And it's not that I don't have regret or anything like that. I just don't have a particular song that I could bring to mind that I could tie in with regret. And it kind of just hit me like a truck. So earlier I mentioned, one of my big regrets was like rushing into a relationship and stuff like that. And even more recently, I had a situationship, for lack of a better word, which I kind of clung on to that, you and I have spoken about over the last couple of days because it's been bothering me. And there's a song that I kind of listened to, and it reminds me of, I guess, my decision to cling on to these situations and not just walk away. So, that's my regret, as I knew better and didn't do it. And so that song is Solo by Miles Smith. And I found it on TikTok a couple of weeks ago, and I love it. And I guess it just, a lot of the lyrics I kind of relate to, like, you promised a lifetime but left in a moment. I wonder if you even think about me. And it's, I felt like that every time I've had a relationship end. It's like, and it's like, you got me, why'd you get me so high to leave me so low, And it's just like, you feel that big build up when you're in a relationship. You feel on top of the world when it's all fresh and new and happy. And you're like, yeah. And then it all just comes crashing down. And that's probably a good song to remind me not to get myself into a position again where I can have this regret, where I go, yeah, done it again, rushed into another relationship. So, yeah, that's my regret song for this week, I think. Just a little bit of a reminder to myself to avoid having the regrets is to take a step back and take my time with things.
That, and I think you've got a handful of friends who would run all the way down to Adelaide to slap you in the face if you ran into anything too quickly.
Yeah.
So, but you're just such you're such a caring person, and I think that sometimes, as great as that is, I know you sometimes you say it can be hard because you do that not because you're doing it just to do it. You do it because that's just you. So, yeah, hard thing to deal, hard thing to do, but
yeah,
hard thing to not beat yourself up over. So yeah, but great song. You sent that to me. I remember you sent that to me when you found it on TikTok.
Yeah, I think I told you to listen to it, and then I most likely sang it for you as well, as I do.
Yes. I haven't got a lot this week. Very disappointed. I think I've been sending you a lot this week. Videos of me.
This week.
Voice has been feeling good this week. Yep.
That
really
better
has.
man that you sent me, I was just like, ooh, damn, son.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, grits. Oh, yeah, that's right. We chat about them. We just stumbled across, well, Christian did, told me about them, instantly fell in love. We just came across Devour the Day. And they've got some awesome tracks. Fantastic. So they were a part of Egypt Central. We figured out it's the bass player and the drummer from Egypt Central, and then they've gone on and made Devour the Day. But yeah, they're great. Go and check them out. I've really enjoyed some of their songs. It's Better Man, isn't it? That's one of them.
No, I was talking about the bloody song Simple Man.
Oh, Simple Man.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
I'm so bad.
No, that's all right. Yes, no, I did.
Haven't sung Better Man yet, but no, you're right.
That
I'm keen to hear you sing that. As soon as I heard that, I was like, God damn it, that's Caleb.
Yeah, no, Simple Man. Yeah, I do sing that a lot. That was my song last week. I think we chatted about that last week. Yeah, in last week's episode.
Wasn't it like episode 3?
Oh yeah, that's right. This is episode 5. That was episode 3. Yeah, good. You got a good memory.
Sometimes. It's just full of song lyrics and melodies. like that's 90% of my memory capacity is fucking song lyrics. Like you play a song that I haven't heard in years, and I've got like 60 to 70% of the song lyrics still in my head.
Mm.
Stupid. Imagine all the things, like the worthwhile things that I could remember. No, here's a song that you heard like 6 times when you were 10, and you know the lyrics still.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That's fantastic. Well, put a comment down if you're listening. Or if you're listening on Spotify, go and check out the YouTube as well. We're on YouTube if you want to see our ugly faces. Go check that out. That's awesome. And if you are watching on YouTube, great. Put a comment about some songs that you're listening to this week. Songs you like, songs you'd like us to go and have a listen to, because we love going to listen to all brand new music. We spend most of our time sending each other new tracks and new music and new records to listen to. So don't be afraid. Put a comment down. We will definitely go listen to it and then get back to you. So thank you so much to everyone so far for engaging and putting comments on the YouTube. It's been really interesting to hear from different people. But yeah, Devour the Day, awesome. I'm so glad you introduced me to that the other day, and I've been listening to them non-stop since then.
I'm so glad I found it.
Great.
It's always very like exciting when you find something new and you just click with it straight away. Like, oh, damn, this is great.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of makes your whole day.
Yeah, I think it did. I think it might have been yesterday or the day before. That was
it was
great.
yesterday.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. Really good listen. And I found out some exciting news too while I was in Melbourne. You're
pregnant?
I am pregnant. I hope it has your eyes. So I downloaded, or on Spotify, you can download your music so that when you're going on a plane or whatever, you can listen to it offline. You can download your music, listen to it offline. So I did that for a heap of the stuff that I kind of like listening to. So it was a heap of Seether, Cold Rain, Bad Flower. What else did I put on there? I didn't put too much because it's only an hour and a half, 2 hour flight. So anyway, but it still came up showing, so I was listening to Bad Flower at the time, and it still came up saying their tours and events and things like that. And I hadn't realized Bad Flower are touring Australia in the middle of the year. I am so fucking excited. I don't think they've been here before, and I love Bad Flower. Absolutely love Bad Flower. They're just some great songs. I think I sent a few to you this week, sung a few to you this week. Anyway, I'm so excited. I haven't got my tickets yet. I really need to get my tickets. Yeah, I really want to go. So
you're going to be fangirling in the front row.
I'm going to be fangirling. Look, I'm considering getting the VIP where you get to do a little bit of a meet and greet, but I'll probably fangirl a little bit too hard. So I might just get the general admission.
I fangirled really hard. Like the band I spoke about earlier, that Immerse, I went down to Brisbane to see them, and I was walking through Queen Street Mall, and these two guys walked past me, like absolute giants with massive beards and long hair, and I was just like, fuck yeah, it's metal as hell. And I stopped. Like they walked straight past me, and I stopped. I was like, wait a fucking minute. I turned around, and it's Johan Hegg, the lead singer of Immerse and the bass player. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? I was like, oh, you're from Immerse? And they're like, yeah. I was like, holy shit. So completely fangirled, and instead of doing the horns, I was so fucking excited that I was just like, yeah, fucking full clench. My fingers are like antennas. I'm just like, oh yeah. And so yeah, my mate got a photo of me with them, and I was just like, fuck. And then I went and saw them live that night, and I got the they scrunched up the set list and yeeted it out in the crowd, and I punched on for that. So that was a good night.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was my fangirl moment. I had like happy tears after I walked away from that. I was just like, I couldn't talk. I was just like,
Have you gotten much from the crowd other than that? Other than the set list, have you gotten other stuff from concerts and shit?
Yeah, so when I went and saw Metallica, I got one of James's picks.
That's awesome. You still got it?
That's pretty cool. I don't know. I do somewhere. I know I had it, but I've misplaced it. And it's it's got his signature on it and shit. And then set list from him on a Marth. got an eye infection from Soundwave. Does that count? This dude was like windmill headbanging in the mosh pit next to me. He had like hair like halfway down his back. And because it was like in the middle of the day, we were all dripping sweat. It like come up and like whipped me in the eye. And by the end of the sound wave, like my eye was like swollen shut and irritated. Like my eyes are burning thinking about it.
Yeah, wow. I think you should consider yourself lucky if that was all you came away with.
I inflicted a lot more. No, I'm joking.
Oh, that's cool. It's awesome. Pardon me, the only thing I've ever gotten from a concert was a pick from Alice Cooper's guitar player.
That's pretty cool still.
Yeah. It's got like Alice's face on one side of the pick, and then it's got the guitarist's name. I can't remember his full name, but it's Tommy something, and it's got like Tommy on it. And that's so that was from the Alice Cooper show. Fantastic show too, by the way. Unbelievable. Yep, really enjoyed seeing Alice Cooper. That was a fair few years ago now.
Good stage presence.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, just ridiculous. The showmanship is unbelievable. Yeah.
I have zero. I just stand there with my foot up on the foldback speaker and just belt out at the top of my lungs and do not maintain eye contact with anyone. I'm looking over people's heads.
I pulled stupid faces. I know you've seen a couple of faces.
Dude.
I'll be sitting behind my drum kit, and especially if I know I'm being filmed, and we've got a fantastic, I guess, content creator for us, or a videographer, and especially when I know that he's pointing the camera at me. Oh, I go out of my way to pull a dumb face. Yeah, to the point where I will almost screw up what I'm playing just so that I can pull the most stupidest face in the world. And there's some fantastic photos. Yes, so really funny doing that.
I reckon you'd have a dumb stank face, hey?
Stank face?
Like your stank face. It's like,
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
when
gross.
You're really grooving on something, you'd just be like, do not fucking clip that or I will come to Queensland and break you.
I'm already thinking about the memes I could do with that little part there. That's amazing. Oh, fantastic. Well, great talking about all that sort of music and stuff. If you've got some stuff out of the crowd, or not out of the crowd, if you've picked up something awesome from a concert, that's not an eye infection, we'd love to hear about it. Chuck it in the comments for us. Whatever. Send us a photo. That'd be awesome. That'd be unreal. Love to see it. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to the Pain in the Head podcast. I think we're going to leave it there for this week. We're going to be back next week with another episode. What are we talking about next week? I don't think we've ever talked about this. No. I did have an idea. That's right. I'll keep it a secret. No, just kidding. Really exciting. We're going to talk about something cool next week. So yeah, thanks for listening. And until next time, it's okay to not be okay.
See you later.